Network Entertainment.
We have this patient. Talaga na-identify namin na yung trabaho niya is gonna kill her in like 1 to 2 years.
Oh my God.
Not because she's like in a war zone, ha? It's not.
Yeah.
But it's just a very toxic work and her personality cannot handle it. She loves her work, but it's really gonna kill her.
Right.
So we really told her, okay, talk to someone, diba? Talk to a therapist and then try to figure out how it's gonna go. She quit her job. And then next time we saw her, sabi ko, parang light-light ng tao. Parang ngumingiti na siya ngayon.
Oh, okay.
Ganon.
Yun ang effect.
Yes. And some naman, simple acupuncture treatments can help. Lifestyle changes can help. Breathing. As in, yung mga tao tinuruan lang ng breathing exercise or started doing yoga or having that time for yourself every day. It really brings about like a lot of peace and less stress in the body. And when your body is able to handle the stressors, it will just function properly.
Hi, this is Mirza Sison. Welcome to You Can Do This, a podcast that'll help you achieve your dreams and goals one episode at a time. What are you waiting for? Let's go! Ever felt so drained that no amount of vacation leaves seems to recharge you, constantly running on empty, trying to keep up with life's demands, but feeling exhausted and overwhelmed? Must be burnout. In today's always-on culture, chronic stress has become an all-too-common struggle. Today's guest has a lasting solution to reset your body and mind from the inside out. A functional and integrative medicine physician and licensed medical acupuncturist, she's the co-founder and medical director of Centro Holistico, where she specializes in reversing chronic diseases through holistic programs that focus on diet, nutrition, and lifestyle changes. She combines conventional and functional medicine with holistic healing practices to help her patients regain balance, restore energy, and recover from burnout naturally. Please welcome Dr.Candy Drilon-Dalman.
Hello.
Hi, Dr. Candy.
Hello. Thanks for having me,
Thank you
Mirza.
for being here.
Of
You're looking
course.
very holistically healthy.
I try my best.
So let's jump right into it. You were a conventionally trained doctor before embracing functional medicine and holistic wellness. Tell us the story
Yes.
of how that happened.
Okay, so I went to Ateneo School of Medicine and Public Health. So I think if you're gonna look at like the curriculum and all, it's not very conventional as well.
Oh.
It's still so we have a lot of like leadership subjects because we have an MPA, and then we have management subjects, public health subjects, and all of that. So we were pretty much exposed to other aspects of medicine. Upon graduation, I really had no plans of going into like hospital work. Like,
Oh,
diba,
okay.
after
Right.
like after going to medical school, you go to usually through residency,
Right.
and then subspecialize and all of that. But I never really had that plan. I went into public health first. And then that's where I saw the need for preventive medicine, lifestyle, and all of that. And then luckily enough, I was recruited to join the team in one of the wellness resorts in the Philippines.
Oh, yeah.
So that was
Right.
the first exposure that I had
Right.
when it comes to this. So after that, I just really wanted to train for it.
Right.
Because apparently, like when we were in medical school, we would think of alternative medicine as like
Hokey.
hokey-pokey,
Yeah.
like as in voodoo stuff,
Right,
mga ganon.
right.
Na parang herbal medicine is not something that we were taught. We were exposed to it, but we never really understood the science behind it. So eventually, yun na yung inaral ko.
Right.
So initially, it was just a lot of online courses because there's no course in the Philippines to cater to
No
this.
formal education.
Wala
about
at all. So all of our courses were like from the US,
Mm-hmm.
Europe, all of it were online. And then so that's what became our practice in Centro Holistico, integrative medicine. And then integrative because you combine. So you integrate your usual Western medical practice with a lot of the other holistic types of practices, like traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, and all of that. And then along the way, as we were going on with our practice, because the clinic's been there since 2014. Around 2015, that's where we discovered functional medicine. So because one of my mentors, Dr. Oyi, Dr. Oyi Belbur, yes. So he was the one that introduced it to us. He was a speaker in one of the conferences that we attended. And I'm like, what he's talking about is what we're doing, but with more like scientific basis
Right.
to it. So I'm like, okay, so how do you train for it? And then that's where it all started for me
Right.
also.
Doc Oy was also a guest on the show.
Yes, he's
Yes.
amazing. He loves to teach. Then when we started this, I think there were just like 10 or 12 of us in like the whole Philippines.
Wow.
And then eventually, because he's very generous with his knowledge. So he just kept on talking about it. Like he loves to talk.
Yes.
So he just kept talking about it, trying to get more people into the practice. And then I guess it just reached more people. So yeah, that's how basically I started, and a lot of my other colleagues as well. And then eventually we were able to like integrate it talaga into the practice. Because initially, like how we would do it, so we were integrative, diba? So for example, you have hypertension. We'd give you sambong.
Yeah.
So it's like because people would come to us not wanting to take medications. So they were looking for quote unquote alternatives. So eventually, nag-shift yung practice namin into becoming more lifestyle related, because in functional medicine, you really have to go into the root cause. Why are you hypertensive in the first place, diba? Like, is it the stress? Is it your cortisol spiking? Is it your adrenaline, etc., etc.? And then that's when we started like really focusing more on these things. The treatments that we do is just to make things faster for you. And yung iba pasaway, they don't wanna, they don't wanna remove some of these things.
Oh, they say may gamot
Diba?
naman eh.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what we're trying to change as
Right.
well. But wala. Ganun talaga yung mga Pilipino eh. So we tell them, sige, ayaw mong tanggalin yung yosi, mag-detox na lang tayo. Ganon. Sige na lang. So yeah, that's where everything started.
Right. I love how you mentioned science-based twice.
Yes.
Because speaking of hokey, there is a lot out there. There are a lot of like alternative influencers or
Yeah.
experts who espouse, cures and whatnot, but you don't know
If they're real ba?
if they're real,
Yeah.
does it work? So when
Yes.
you say science-based, let's say you prescribe sambong, you know the science behind the
Yes.
effectivity of those herbal.
Yeah. So some kasi, okay, so for example, those influencers, diba? There are, I would believe that they really, like the way they treat people or the way as they do their lives, kumbaga, is it really works for them. But it's very individualized kasi when it comes to healing. So it's not all the time that this, for example, energy healing. There are some people who say that, oh my gosh, it's like the best thing. It's cured everything. And there are some people that just don't
Respond
feel
to it.
it. Not
Right.
at all. So like ako, I've felt my body responds to it depending on who the healer is. But there are some talaga no. Diba? So it also depends on your body's chemistry, your brain, how it works, how your body receives the energy. So there is, I wouldn't say science, but evidence also
Right.
when it comes to these different practices. But when it comes to yung specific substances that you take, like sambong, turmeric, like how
Right,
it works, what are the main ingredients, diba, that makes it work in your body and how. So meron talaga, there is science to it. And it usually, makita natin yan, how it will work in a person will also depend on their body's own biochemistry. So that's what we are trying to espouse. And Doc Oye would always say this talaga na, we can't put a specific protocol to healing because your body is different from mine.
Right.
Diba? So, for example, I give you 500 milligrams of curcumin. That might be enough for you, but not enough for me. So, it's very, I wouldn't say complicated, but there's an art to this type of practice.
Right.
Yeah, just, it's not very science
So an
science
art
based.
and a science.
Yes, at the same time. It's complicated, but at the same time, it's very exciting. Yeah.
Speaking of burnout, you mentioned that it was migraines which led you to
Yeah.
study acupuncture. Tell us about that. And did this come out as a result of burnout?
I believe so kasi med school yun eh.
Oh, okay.
So migraines, yes. I remember getting my very first migraine attack. That was, I think, second year med school.
Okay.
Because for all the med students there, all the people that went through medical school, it's second year that's the heaviest. You have very heavy load. Dagdag mo pa may MBA pa yung, imagine,
Grabe naman program na yan.
heavy na nga yung medicine and then
May
may
MBA
MBA pa
pa.
kaming dagdag. So MBA actually yung mga break times ko nung time na yun. So acupuncture, na-discover ko siya after med school na.
Okay.
It's because we started working in the medical resort. And then I was always complaining to my husband, then boyfriend, na okay, my migraines is getting worse na, which started in second year med school and then tuloy-tuloy na siya. And then after like 2 sessions, because our mentor then, Doc Mikey, he's an acupuncturist. Sabi niya, sige, let's do 2 sessions. Biglang next cycle ko, like next menstrual cycle, parang wala
Oh
na.
my gosh, ang galing.
And then we just continued doing the acupuncture until eventually, okay, none.
Oh, wow.
So that's what prompted me, okay, I think I gotta study this thing. And then that's when it started. We were trying to like figure out scientific, like med school way.
Right.
How the hell is this working?
Yeah.
And it's a totally different like theory talaga. Traditional Chinese medicine is like when you go into it, you have to somehow put your medicine brain aside and just absorb everything, because the way traditional Chinese medicine is more of like very artistic, poetic and all that. Wow. So iba siya. And then eventually when we were finished with it, that's when you just try to integrate like what are they talking about when they say kidney essence, when they talk about like the liver, is it really the liver? It's not. So yun, and then it just flowed from there.
Right.
And then nakakatuwa kasi if you're gonna look at Chinese medicine, it's very root cause medicine also. So it's para siyang Asian or Eastern way of functional medicine. That's how I can describe it. Because when you look at TCM, for example, the hypertension, again, it can be a lot of different things and a lot of different diagnoses in Chinese medicine. So hypertension is just the symptom, but it's not the cause. So it can be liver yang rising, it can be stagnation, it can be a lot of things. So ganun din in functional medicine, hypertension is just the manifestation of the disease. So it can be because of inflammation, a lot of these things. So nakakatuwa, when we got introduced to functional medicine, parang, related siya. So hindi siya parang very foreign when we were studying it na. Different language, but very much related.
So ano yung root cause of burnout?
Depende sa'yo.
Wait, first let's define burnout.
Burnout.
How do you know kung burnout or stress lang?
It's burnout kasi iba-iba siya for different people.
Right.
Like I know I'm burned out if umiinit na yung ulo ko at ayoko umalis ng kama.
Okay.
Kasi parang your body just doesn't want to work.
Right.
Diba? So you can call it like adrenal fatigue, like bumabagsak na yung cortisol mo, whatever. So that's like how I define burnout. So other people naman, that's their brain is just not functioning anymore. So it really depends on you. There are a lot of different symptoms of burnout, but basically it's like you've burned the candle and there's nothing more to go on.
Right.
It's not your daily life, parang ayaw mo na siyang gawin. Parang ganyan.
And ano yung mga physical manifestations?
Iba-iba rin.
As a doctor.
So yung iba, hindi makatulog.
Right.
Okay, so sleepless nights, because there's dysregulation in their cortisol and melatonin levels. It can be that you don't have energy because cortisol actually gives you energy. So you need to have a certain level throughout the day for you to function. If your adrenals are fatigued, they just don't wanna like create cortisol anymore. Minsan may jolts of energy, but it's more because of adrenaline, not because of the cortisol.
Right.
So what else? There are brain fog.
How about the manifestations on the skin, weight?
Yung weight, it depends kung yung iba pumapayat, yung iba lumalaki. Okay, so iba
Stress
siya.
eating.
Yung stress eating, pero yung iba, even if they're eating, they're not gaining weight.
Wow, sarap naman.
May ganon. Pero it will manifest in their labs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so high cholesterol levels, their kidney functions aren't working.
How about the digestive system?
It slows down. It really slows down. So usually constipated, yung GERD, hyperacidity, because your gastrointestinal system is not working properly.
Okay.
So, yun, madami siyang na vague symptoms. Some people think like, it's not related to stress.
Right.
But it actually is. And then once we start targeting, making your body more resilient, and then it just starts functioning again.
Right. Pero may tao bang walang stress?
Wish ko lang. Even
So,
babies
parang
get stressed.
logically, lahat mababurn out.
Everybody has some stressors in the body. Even babies, even kids, di ba? So, ang babies, kapag hindi mo pinakain, stress yun.
Right.
Kaya sila iiyak. For us adults, it depends on what we are exposed to. So, it can be physical stress, like toxins. Pwedeng the food that you eat is stressing out the body because it's
Right.
not nutritious.
So what? Alcohol, caffeine.
Caffeine.
Caffeine ba?
Yeah,
Is
processed
bad
food.
or good?
Caffeine, it depends on your body. Like I recently did a DNA health test, and apparently my body can only handle so much caffeine, like maximum of 1 cup or 1 espresso, or max of 2 espresso shots a day.
Wow, I should check mine.
Yes, it's very interesting because even when it comes to diet, not madidictate, it will tell you what your body can handle. Like me,
Right.
apparently, I don't do well with a high carbohydrate diet. So I have to have higher levels of fat and carbs. So apparently, mahilig ako sa carbs, diba?
Sino ba naman ang hindi?
Diba? So I've been stressing my body for
Right,
the past
right,
how
right.
many years. So yeah, stress can be in physical forms, it can be emotional.
Yes. If
And-
you're like not, if your love life is no good.
Yes. And if you are in a job that you don't like.
Yes.
If you are not sleeping well, that's also
Right.
a stressor. If you are in an environment, like for example, na environment na very toxic.
Toxic workplace. ganun.
Workplace and kung katabi mo yung EDSA na puro usok, diba?
okay.
Yun. So,
Tama.
yun, it can be stressors to the body. So, all of us are in a state of stress.
Right.
Because if like tayo, we live in Metro Manila, we're in traffic every day. So that's already a stressor. So I always tell my patients when they ask, how do I get rid of it? Sabi ko, wala. It's really just, handling it, making sure your body can handle the stress. And making your body more resilient. If you think you cannot handle it, get out of the situation. Ang hirap lang nung pag-asawa mo na, or meron kang 5-year contract. Mga ganyan. Yan ang mahirap.
Tama.
But other than that, really, it's really to remove it or make your body more resilient to it.
Hi, guys. We are the Eavesdrop Podcast. My name is Francesca.
My name is Jelly.
This is Delamar.
This is Jude. What's up?
Yeah, and we are inviting you to check us out, your fellow TPN podcast.
And if you want to learn more about life, what's happening around us, you want to know about love, healing, this is the podcast you should be listening to.
Eavesdrop, 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 eavesdrop. Sometimes we get drunk and do the show. Those are the fun ones.
Like today,
Ooh, why? Who's drunk?
Like right now.
you're red as a bug.
Am I? Eavesdrop, please catch it. 4 hosts going crazy. You'll have fun. You'll cry. Everything else. So please check it out. The Eavesdrop.
Only on the Pod Network.
Are there ways to change your response to stress?
Yes, there definitely is. Our bodies are very well equipped. God made us that way, that we are very equipped to handle the stress. It's really a matter of giving yourselves the ingredients to be able to handle it. Number one is really about making sure that you're eating well and eating for your body. When I say that, you don't just grab something mindlessly. So
Right.
mindful eating is very important. And when it comes to mindful eating, you have to know what your body needs and responds to. So, for example, I really advocate whole foods. Like as much as possible, if you don't know what's in that sandwich, don't eat it. Ganyan, diba? I think we've developed a lot of our diseases just because of the type of diet that we have.
Yeah.
So there are some restaurants I really love because a lot of them are really coming from fresh ingredients. If you don't really have time to cook, you can just order from these places. So whole foods meaning single ingredient, max of 2 or 3.
Not in a box.
Not in a box. It cannot survive outside the refrigerator for more than 3 months. Yung mga
Right.
ganyan, diba? Because if you know that if it can survive outside of a chilled or a freezer for more than 3 months, and it's grabe na yung preservatives niyan. Your body has to detoxify that. So instead of detoxifying your usual stuff, it has to go through all of these things. So that's why you develop liver issues.
Right.
So yeah, so you give yourself your body the ingredients, micronutrients, macros, so your proteins, fats, and carbs, your vitamins. Like people think that you only need vitamins when your body is sick, but when your body is sick, you need more Okay, you need more nutrients, but on a daily basis, you need the basics. Making sure that your body is able to get that. Making sure that you have some downtime throughout the day. Like I tell my patients, kung nasa-stress ka na sa kausap mo, excuse yourself, go to the banyo. No one's gonna question that
Right.
you're going to the banyo, diba?
Right.
So you're just there, give yourself 5 minutes, breathe, just make sure that you go back to your meeting or whatever, like more centered. Because when you are able to get in that oxygen, which a lot of us don't get enough of because our breathing is very shallow, then once you get that oxygen, your brain just starts working again.
So you teach breathing techniques also.
Basic breathing, yes. And then if they need like that extra help, we also have coaches that can do that also. Like the box breathing and all of that. Or even YouTube. Like they just have to
Right,
search about like types of breathing to help with mental stress and all
Right.
of that. So yun, those are the basics. And make sure
So
you sleep.
nutrition, sleep. How many hours?
Sleep, nako, controversial. But ideally, sinasabi nila kasi pag adults, okay na daw ang 6 hours. Hindi talaga.
Talaga? Kaya pala.
Hindi talaga. I'm sorry. 7 to 8
Okay.
hours of sleep. Kids, at least 10. So once they stop growing, so that's usually what? Age 16, 15. Yung iba, they grow until they're 18. But for kids, as long as they're growing, 10 hours talaga. 10 to 12
Wow.
hours. Kung kaya, 12 hours better, but 10 hours minimum.
Right.
And then if you're not able to sleep kasi, you don't recover. Diba? Walang kapalit ang tulog. Kahit anong melatonin mo dyan,
Right.
walang kapalit ang tulog. Unlike diet, minsan masasupplement mo or diba? Pero ang tulog wala talaga.
Tama.
Yeah. And then movement is very important. You sweat out the toxins and you make your lymphatic system move. And aside from that, you're able to just pump everything up in your body. We need at least 150 minutes of basic exercise in a week. O week na yon, diba? So that's that's
Okay.
30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And then like 2 strength training exercises. So especially for us women, when we reach a certain age,
Yeah. Bone mass.
diba? So osteoporosis starts kicking in. And then if you don't have muscle mass, you get more hormone issues, bone issues. So tayo talaga mga babae, we're more prone to that because our estrogen levels goes down after a certain
Right.
age. So you really have to exercise. Very, very important. And ang hindi na bibigyan ng emphasis is really relationships.
Yes.
Diba? Like having that solid core group, it can be just one person, let's say your husband or your sister, your mom, whatever. Like no one can live in an island like by themselves. And so that's really very important. There are actually studies, numerous now. And
Yeah,
numerous,
support system.
Yeah, support system actually really helps with longevity, really just lowers down your cortisol levels at certain times of the day. And that's very important. Like a lot of people talaga, especially in the pandemic, diba? Nakita natin
the
lahat.
isolation.
Yes, when everyone was stuck in the condominiums, apartments, or wherever they were, a lot of people developed diseases.
Yeah.
It's because loneliness.
A friend of mine was alone for a year,
Oh my gosh.
and she said that my podcast saved her life.
Yes.
Because every time she would listen to it now, it's like she had friends in the living room.
Like the video thing, diba? I remember we were doing this talk show during the pandemic also, me and my friends. And then we were able to to come up with a community, and they were always telling us, you guys saved us.
So you often say that gut health is the key to stress management.
Yes.
What can we do to improve it?
Gut health is essential in everything. It all, as Hippocrates said, diba, napakaluma, it all starts at the gut. So all diseases start in the gut because the gut is our parang communication with the external world.
Right.
Whenever you eat something or nagkamali kang nakain mo, it goes into
So it's
the
really
body.
the food.
The food, and not just that. A lot of things we put it, lipstick.
Uh-oh.
Diba? Yung mga nakukuha mo from the air, those actually go
no.
through the gut as well.
Right.
So it's our really the communication with our external world. So for you to be as healthy as you can, you make sure that number one, the gut. So it's really the food because everyone like needs to eat unless you're in a fast. Diba?
Right.
So when it comes to food, whole foods are very important because walang less toxins the less processed it is, the more nutritious it is. So you always have to look at like the food not just as something that makes you happy, but something that will nourish you. Think of it as fuel for your car. Kung yung
Right,
kotse mo nga gusto mo malinis yung gasolina, de lalo ka na, diba? Dapat malinis yung pagkain mo. So when it comes to cleaning it, because of course we have like fertilizers and pesticides and all that. So try to clean your food as much as you can. If you can't get it organic, there's still a way to clean it. You put like
Right.
baking soda before storing it in the refrigerator. Try to get at least like 50% of your diet from plants, because you get the fiber from there and you get a
Right.
lot of the micronutrients as well. A lot of protein, especially for us women, that we need a lot of amino acids. Even for the guys out there, we need a lot of amino acids. It's basic for our like metabolism. It's basic for our liver detoxification and all that. And then the healthy fats also is very important, because we absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K through
Right.
with fats and a lot of other things as well. So basic talaga.
So
diet.
besides all these basic preventative
Yes.
measures, if one is undergoing burnout and extreme stress,
Yeah.
what are your recommendations for things that they should do, or mindsets that they should change, or what actions that they should start to address the problem immediately?
If they have the luxury of getting out of that certain situation, get out. So same with the gut, you remove what is
Right.
injuring you. So if you have that luxury, by all means.
So quit the job.
oh my God.
Or
Baka
leave-
marami mag-quit after
or
nito.
just like leave the office for a while.
Yes, take a leave, 'di ba?
Right.
Vacation leave ka, paalam ka lang. It can, kung bigyan ka ng 2-3 araw, just take it.
Right.
And then go somewhere that is not giving you stress.
Right.
If the home gives you stress, please alis muna. Nature is very healing. So if they can do some
Forest
grounding
bathing.
work, yeah, 'di ba? Like forest bathing, or just going to the beach. We have a lot of beaches in the Philippines. So just take a drive, get yourself out there, ground yourself.
What does that do physically to the body?
It resets it. So if your adrenals are very stressed already, it gives your body, the adrenals specifically, a chance to reset and not have to like try to keep on giving out cortisol because your body needs
Right.
it. So it just gives your body a reset, makes your body sleep better. And then may rise and fall kasi yung cortisol natin throughout the day. So if your body is constantly in a state of stress, cortisol just keeps on going up. Dapat kahit na sa umaga lang siya nagpipeak. So if you get out of the stressful situation, the cortisol curve mas aayos siya, babagsak siya sa hapon hanggang gabi, and then giving your body the chance to create its own melatonin, spike the melatonin at the specific time of the day, giving your body better sleep.
So cortisol is the stress hormone.
Yes, melatonin makes you sleep.
Melatonin is the what?
Sleep
hormone.
hormone, yes.
Okay. And adrenals are what?
Adrenals are the tiny organs on top of your kidneys that gives out the cortisol and the adrenaline.
Right.
So yun, kapag nasa-stress yung organ na yun, kahit gaano siya kaliit, it's kind of dictates how your body's gonna respond throughout the day. So even our bodies talaga, it's parang very machine siya eh. But you just have to give it enough ingredients talaga for it to function properly. Pag na-over na, parang sasakyan lang din. If it's overworked, dali mo sa kasa. Diba?
Sa Casa Holistico.
I like that. Diba? Ganun lang
Konting
siya.
tune up lang.
Tune up lang. So, kung stress talaga yung nabibigay sa'yo ng sakit, get out of it. If
Right.
it's the food that you eat, because a lot of people don't have time to
Yeah,
like
all
prepare
the
their
convenience
food.
foods.
Yes, but yun, number one talaga, part of the reset is making sure you eat the right type of food. Sometimes yun
Right.
lang, a lot of our patients wanting to lose weight, we just shift their diet without doing anything else. They drop the weight. Because of the convenience, diba? For per gram of food ngayon, minsan the amount of calories sobrang taas eh. So if you just shift them to more whole foods, make them eat real meat instead of canned meat, it makes a big difference already. Yeah.
Kung nakailang vacation leave ka na and then burned out pa rin.
Burned out pa rin yung feeling mo. Or as in, ganun.
I guess, the symptoms.
Yeah, you have to, that's when a life coach comes in.
Oh, okay. And you have life coaches.
Yes, we
in
have a life
Centro.
coach, si Kathy. She's very good at her job. Sometimes it works. Like they make you realize things that sometimes kasi you just talk to yourself,
Yeah.
diba? Or parang
Hearing yourself.
Yeah, or your sounding board is someone like you. So
Yeah.
you don't get out of that circle. So when you talk to someone else, you talk to a stranger, you get like different perspectives, then that's when you'll be able to realize, oh nga no, baka I can do this. And then you just you go into that practice of like removing, we call it I remember in med school, going to the balcony and looking down at your life.
And big picture, zoom out.
Oo, na parang, alin ba dito ang nagpapastress sa akin, diba?
Tama.
Or sometimes, what I did recently, I talked to a theta healer.
Okay.
So we did a session. So theta healing is when the healer naman, parang she puts you in a state of theta, yung theta waves of your brain.
Right.
So you parang nawawala yung wall mo, and you just express things. Conscious ka nito you just start expressing things or saying things, answering the questions without barriers, or because you're in that state,
Right.
theta state. So when you're gonna hear yourself. And then you start realizing, oo nga, ito yung mga rate limiting factors ko. Ito yung mga nagpapastress sa akin. Tapos manggagaling na sa'yo kung paano mo siya pwedeng ma-address. So it's nice to have those
Right.
things already that sometimes us doctors that's out of our scope. Then the most that we can do is identify it and refer to a specialist that does that.
Any inspiring success stories of mga burnout na-cure nyo?
Na-cure namin. Madami.
Madami.
Madami kami napakwit na
Or
trabaho.
lahat ba nang pumapasok sa Centro may burnout?
Not all. To be fair not all.
Okay.
Madami sa kanila na they just need that break time in a week. That's why they're there.
Right.
So that's the way for them not to be burned out. So acupuncture kasi helps with cortisol levels, makes you feel more relaxed.
You bet.
Pumunta ka na.
Sige.
So it makes you feel more relaxed, like trying to rebalance the energies in the body so that it parang tinatanggal niya yung mga blockages and make your body just function better. Actually, marami naman na kaming patients na burned out pala. And then when we tell them, you really just need a break. It's either, meron na kami mga napapakot ng trabaho. Actually, because they realize that that's what's making them more stressed.
Right.
So,
And life's too short.
And life's too short. So if we have like 200 years, why not? Diba? But no. So inspiring stories for us. For me specifically, we have this patient. She's still our patient now because ongoing pa rin yung journey. Talaga na-identify namin na yung trabaho niya is gonna kill her in like 1 to 2 years.
Oh my God.
Not because she's like in a war zone, It's not.
Yeah.
But it's just a very toxic work, and her personality cannot handle it. She loves her work, but it's really gonna kill her.
Right.
So we really told her, okay, talk to someone, diba? Talk to a therapist or whatever, and then try to figure out how it's gonna go. She quit her job. And then next time we saw her, sabi ko, parang light ng tao. Parang ngumingiti na siya ngayon.
Okay.
Ganon.
Yun ang effect.
Yes. And some naman, simple acupuncture treatments can help. Lifestyle changes can help. Breathing. As in, yung mga taong tinuruan lang ng breathing exercise or started doing yoga or having that time for yourself every day. Like it can be either in the morning upon waking up or at the end of the day. It really brings about like a lot of peace and less stress in the body. And when your body is able to handle the stressors, it will just function properly.
Kailangan i-charge pag low bat.
Yes, diba?
So
Lagyan ng gas.
If there's only one mindset shift that our listeners can take away from our conversation today about burnout, what would that be?
Burnout. Okay. If there's one thing, there's always something that you can do. It can be little things that you can incorporate throughout the day. It can be breathing, just simple drinking your water, getting that oxygen in, or giving yourself an hour a day to, reset, or it depends on you, like there are people like my husband who likes where is he supper there? If there are people na they need that 1 hour at the start of the day to set the tone.
Yes.
Or people like me,
morning routine.
morning routine siya. Ako, gabi. Like, you cannot disturb me like 2 hours before I sleep or else my brain's just gonna start woo! As in, umaandar siya
What do
hanggang
you
alas
do in
2.
those 2 hours?
So first, I check my phone. Make sure that everything is okay na.
Akala ko doom scrolling.
Lahat ng mga kailangan ko replyan ko na. And then I watch Netflix. I watch stupid shows or shows na mababaw.
Brain candy lang.
Ayoko nung, as in I would watch the Kardashians like for 2 hours para kumalma yung utak ko kaysa manood ako ng mga medical shows. Ayoko. So you just have to find your routine talaga or your peace. Kung saan ka mas marirelax. And then yun na, tulog na after. Kasi kung wala nun, talagang umaandar utak ko ng halos stress. Tapos hindi ko na tinare-replyan yung mga tao na ganun din. Shout out to Tina, sorry. Si Tina, ganun din kasi. So hindi talaga pwede na kami mag-uusap hanggang anong oras because we're not gonna stop.
Well, you two are like so busy and so doing everything na
Trying to.
it's a miracle na hindi kayo burned out.
There was a time talaga na I got really burned out and my husband was telling me, stop saying yes. Like, stop saying yes to the things. In my head, kasi parang, kaya ko pa eh. And then next thing you know, diba? Next thing you know, wala na. Exactly.
Right.
And you just have to know your limit. So, that's when I started doing the theta and then talking to a life coach. When I just started having that limit.
Yes.
And I realized that not everything is in my control. Yun na. I think I was able to handle it better. It's still there. Like the stress is still there. But I think it's more of like being resilient and knowing when to stop and just surrendering yourself to a higher power.
Right.
Na, okay, everything's just gonna go well. Just do what you can.
Yes.
Diba?
Save some for yourself.
Please.
Thank you so much, Doc Candy.
Thank you.
Where can our listeners find out more about you and your work?
Okay, so you guys I have an Instagram account. It's Drilon-Dalman.md. I don't usually post a lot, but when I do, it's mahaba. And then you can just message me there. And then we have, of course, I'm in my clinics almost every day except Fridays. So
that's Centro Holistico.
Centro Holistico. So we have branches in Alabang, Pasig, Quezon City, BGC, and Makati. And then going 6 this year. So very
congrats.
exciting.
So centroholistico.com.
CentroHolisticoPH.com.
For Instagram.
For Instagram, it's Centro Holistico. And we're also on Facebook. So if you guys are interested to see what we do, so just check out our socials and then you guys can visit us anytime.
Thank you, Doc Candy.
Thank you, Mirza.
And have a healthy weekend.
Thank you too.
Bye. Thank you for listening to You Can Do This. If you want to know more about me, visit Mirza.com. That's MYRZA.com. And follow me at Mirza Season on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you like this episode, please don't forget to rate it 5 stars. Hit the follow button on your podcast streaming platforms and hit the notification bell to get alerted every time we release a new episode. Catch you at our next convo, and always remember, you can do this.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.